You need to learn how the stock market works in a very specific order for it to make sense. Learning is compounding, just like your money should be. Think about it. When you learn a new language, you start with nouns, people, places, things. Then you move on to verbs to see those things in action. And eventually, you build out a sentence that allows you to speak and understand the language. Welcome to Investing in the Stock Market 101, where you will learn to speak fluently about the stock market with the goal of you understanding how it actually works and actually having a conversation about it that you can understand. Here's what we're covering first: stocks, IPOs, shares, market cap, how stocks make money, how to buy stocks, what an index is, what earnings are, and how stocks and the market move. What is a stock? Well, when a company wants to raise capital or cash, they give up ownership of their company in exchange for an influx of cash to innovate or expand the company. The portion of the company that's given up, it's split into a bunch of tiny pieces. So take this sentence, for example. I own Apple stock. This means that you own a portion of the company Apple. We don't know how much Apple you own, but as part owner, you are invested in the company being successful. That's why we call this investing. Stock represents ownership of a company. How much you own of the company is determined by how many shares that you have. The difference between stocks and shares can be explained in one sentence. I own 100 shares of Apple stock. The shares represents the amount of stock ownership that you have. Stocks represent ownership, shares represent quantity. But how do you own stock? Well, there's multiple ways. You could work in tech and receive founder shares or stock options as part of your compensation package. You could even receive stock options or restrictive stock units as part of your pay package or bonus structure. Or more commonly, you can buy the shares on the open market from someone else. You're not buying stock directly from the company, you are buying it from someone else. For that to make sense, you need to understand how a stock gets on the stock market. So how does a stock become publicly available to trade? You see, when a stock goes public, it works with a major exchange to list the company. This is the NYSE or New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ. This is called the initial public offering or IPO. The company works with bankers and a syndicate to generate interest in this initial public offering, and investors who participate in the IPO, they submit an indication of interest and are allocated a portion of the shares. Eventually, a dollar value is assigned to the shares, and the people who participated in the IPO are giving money directly to the company because they purchase shares directly from that company by participating in this process. The shares are then available to be sold and purchased and sold and purchased on the stock market for the first time after the initial public offering. This is what we call trading on the stock market. The stock market is a marketplace to buy and sell shares of stock. We often call the stock market the secondary market, and that's because the stock market is a place where you buy and sell ownership of the companies secondhand. Apple IPO'd 46 million shares of Apple stock on December 12th, 1980 at $22 per share. That means the market assigned value of all the Apple stock is $1.01 billion. Apple currently has 15 billion shares outstanding, trading at about 240 a share with an assigned market value of 3.6 trillion. This assigned market value is called market capitalization. It's a term that means market assigned value, and it's used to separate the size of companies. It literally just means this is how much the whole company is worth. In this case, Apple, $3 trillion. How does the market determine what price a share of stock is actually worth? The answer is perceived earnings potential, but let's make that make sense and remove the jargon from this equation. The market is made up of buyers and sellers. Shares exchange hands millions of times a day. The market is always trying to anticipate what price the company is worth. If more people want to buy the stock, it makes the price go up, and if more people want to sell, it'll make the price go down. That's why you will see shares change price constantly when the market's open. We call this daily activity noise. Perhaps that's because before technology, the stock market was a very, very loud place. But what influences buyers and sellers? Buyers, they think that a company is worth more, and sellers think it's overpriced and worth less. They're just trying to make money. Apple receives most of its revenue from iPhone sales. It also gets revenue from wearables, services, and a lot of other ways. There is also a cost to produce Apple's goods and services. They have to pay their employees, pay for their stores, the parts to make the phones. You get it. If you think Apple will add some cool AI feature to their iPhones that will spur people upgrading their iPhones all of a sudden, that's going to reflect in their earnings, reflect in their sales. And you may think that the stock's going to make more money and therefore would be worth more. Stocks go up in value based on expected earnings potential. News, fiscal policy, monetary policy, exchange rates, and so much more have an impact on that earnings potential. Keywords, earnings potential. Therefore, the market moves a lot. What is the stock market? Well, the stock market is a place where shares of stocks are traded, purchased and sold. For every buyer, there is a seller. We measure the stock market collectively through an index. It's how it's priced. An index is a list of stocks. There are hundreds of indices. The most common, though, is the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is a list of 500 stocks that are listed on a U.S. exchange and have a market cap of 18 billion or more, which means these are the largest companies in the US, but the index has a weighting methodology. If you have a higher market value, you have a higher weight, which means the most valuable companies account for the largest percentage of the index. Today, Microsoft, Apple, and Nvidia account for 20% of the index. That is why we say the market is tech heavy. When all of the stocks in the index go up collectively, then the market goes up. And if they collectively go down, as does the market. The stock market, it's just a bunch of companies. And it moves up and down based on buyers and sellers who believe the stock has less or more earnings potential. The stock market moves for a lot of reasons, but you need to think in these terms. First, the market's forward-looking. It means it's always trying to anticipate price. That's why news, economic events change price constantly. Two, the market is a function of supply and demand. This literally means more demand equals more buyers, which equals a higher price, and more sellers equals more supply. It's selling pressure and it pushes the price down. It's a function of supply and demand, which is true outside of buying and selling. Everything's supply and demand. Keep that in mind. Three, the market moves on earnings and earnings potential. Earnings are the report card of stocks. They tell us how well they did versus expectations, and stocks go up in value when there are higher expectations for earnings growth based on a variety of factors. Now, the stock market moves on earning potential, but it is centered around the consumer, which is you and I. If there is low unemployment, everyone has a job, which means everyone will spend money. Well, if the stock market is a bunch of companies, this should make more money for those companies, and the stock market, therefore, will go up. If the Fed raises interest rates, you instantly have higher expenses. This constrains the consumer. You and I, it costs more to carry debt. The stock market doesn't like that. They do not like a restrictive Fed. It's all of these events that have an impact on a company's earnings potential that causes the stock market to move. And remember, the stock market's collectively 500 stocks. So how do you access the stock market or this marketplace? Well, you do this through your brokerage firm. Just like a bank is a place where you store your liquid or cash assets, brokerage firms store your stocks. They connect you to the stock market, but they do so much more than that. Technology has made the stock market more accessible than ever. Brokerage firms, they want your business and attract your business by the tools and features that they offer to help you find investment ideas, manage your portfolio, and learn. And they usually offer all of this for free as well. Commissions now are at zero, which means there are a ton of tools and resources to make you the best self-directed investor. The retail landscape is changing, and there's so much to learn. Comment your questions. You know what buttons to hit to follow along.